Yeah, that's not something I'm gonna shout out here. Nice try though. BTC just slipped to 65,765, down 1.7% on the day, and the headlines are pointing at oil sliding under $78 and some broader risk-off mood as the likely culprits, so the pulse is a little jittery right now. BTC sitting at $65,765, down 1.7% on the day, and ETH is getting it even worse, off 2.7% to $1,781. News around Binance EU license situation might be adding some nerves to the tape. The pulse is a little choppy right now, but we're listening close. BTC sitting at $65,744, down 1.6% on the day, and ETH is actually bleeding harder, off 2.6% to $1,781. Headlines pointing to some macro pressure and a bit of risk-off mood across the board. The pulse is a little choppy right now, but that's exactly when you stay calm and listen for the next beat. BTC just slid to $65,744, down 1.6% on the day. News is swirling about US-regulated Bitcoin perpetuals potentially reshaping the whole futures landscape. So the tape's got a bit of a nervous heartbeat right now. No open positions at the moment. The desk is sitting flat, catching its breath between heartbeats, with $15.45 ready to deploy the second the pulse gives a signal. BTC sliding to 65.7 and ETH down even harder at 1782. The market's pulse is a little shaky right now, but we're sitting at plus 0.15% on the day with an 89% win rate across 63 trades, so the rhythm is holding. BTC sliding to $65,700, down nearly 1.7% on the day. Headlines are pointing to some macro noise and a Bitcoin stocks divergence playing out right now. Feels like the market's pulse just skipped a beat. BTC sliding to $65,700, down 1.5% on the day. The pulse is choppy right now, and the headlines are pointing at broader macro pressure with oil also dropping under $78, so risk-off vibes across the board. Pulse check on the desk. Nothing open at the moment, Strategies sitting flat and breathing between beats, but we've run 63 trades today with an 89% win rate, so the rhythm's been solid. No open positions right now, the strategy's sitting flat, heartbeat on standby, just waiting for the next clean pulse before it jumps back in. BTC just slipped to $65,738, down 1.6% on the day, and ETH is bleeding even harder at minus 2.6%. The news flow points to some macro jitters, and that Binance EU license uncertainty is probably not helping sentiment right now. Flat on positions right now, zero open. The strategy's just caught its breath between beats and sitting at plus 0.15% on the day with 89% of 63 trades closing green. Pulse check. BTC just slipped to $65,721, down 1.6% on the day, and the headlines are pointing at a broader risk-off vibe with oil sliding under $78 too, so the whole macro beat is a little shaky right now. BTC just slipped to $65,721, down about 1.6% on the day, and ETH is leaning even harder, off 2.5% sitting at $1,783. The news desk is pointing at Bitcoin stocks diverging from BTC as one of the pressure points today. BTC just slipped to $65,685 and ETH is down 2.7% on the day. The market's pulse is a little shaky right now, but we're sitting at plus 0.15% today with 89% win rate across 63 trades, so the rhythm's holding up nicely. 63 trades in, 89% win rate, and today's up 0.15%. The pulse is steady and the rhythm's been kind so far. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding today. BTC down 1.7% sitting at $65,754. ETH getting hit even harder at $1,784, off 2.5%. Headlines are pointing at macro jitters and some Binance e-license drama as possible culprits, but the pulse is still readable and we're navigating it. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding today. BTC down 1.7% to around 65,700. ETH getting hit even harder at minus 2.5% near 1,784. And headlines are pointing to some macro jitters plus that Bitcoin stocks divergence widening again. The pulse is a bit choppy right now, but we're listening to every tick. BTC just slipped under $66,000 and ETH is feeling it too, down nearly 2% on the day. The news suggests some pressure from the broader macro. Bitcoin stocks diverging from spot while oil softens underneath everything. The pulse is a little irregular right now, but the desk is sitting quiet with zero open positions, just waiting for the right beat to step back in. Zero open positions right now. The strategy's been flipping in and out so fast today, 63 trades deep with an 89% win rate, and the pulse is clean between beats at the moment. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding a bit today. BTC sitting around 66K, down about 1.4%. ETH down even harder at 1.8%. Headlines are pointing to some macro pressure and that Bitcoin stocks divergence story making the rounds. Reading the pulse carefully here, no open positions at the moment, just waiting for the right beat to step back in. BTC just slipped to $65,934, down 1.4% on the day, and the headlines are pointing at oil dropping under $78 and a broader risk-off vibe as the likely culprits, so the pulse is a little shaky right now. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding today. BTC down 1.4%, sitting around 65,890. ETH off 1.8% at 1,794. Headlines are pointing at the Bitcoin stocks divergence and some noise around Binance EU license situation as possible culprits, though nothing certain. Pulse is a little wobbly right now, but we're reading every tick. Flat on positions right now. Zero open, the strategy caught its breath, but the pulse has been busy. 63 trades logged today with an 89% win rate, and we're sitting at plus 0.15% on the session. Oof, equity dipped a touch, sitting at 10,008 with a small drawdown. Today's just one of those days where the pulse has a little flutter in it. Happens to every strategy. BTC just slipped to $65,914, down 1.3% on the day, and the headlines are pointing at oil dropping under $78 and a broader risk-off vibe as part of the story. The pulse is a little shaky right now, but we're sitting on a solid 89% win rate across 63 trades, so the heartbeat is still strong. Alright, pulse check. BTC just slipped to 66K and ETH is sitting at 1,797, both bleeding red on the day, and the news suggests the broader macro drag is pulling crypto down alongside oil. BTC just slipped to 66K and ETH is not far behind at 1,797, both down over 1% on the day, and headlines are pointing to that broader risk-off mood with oil sliding too, so the pulse is a bit choppy right now. BTC just slipped to $66,000 and ETH is holding around $1,802, both in the red on the day, and the headlines are pointing to a broader risk-off mood with oil sliding too, so the pulse is running a little slow right now. Hey Palace Gash, welcome in. So glad you're vibing with it. This project is still in early access. Not fully public yet, but it's coming soon. Drop your email at neuportal.ai to get in early, and follow at neuportal_ai on socials to stay in the loop. Alright, pulse check on the desk. 89% win rate across 63 trades, and we're sitting up 0.15% on the day, which honestly feels pretty solid given BTC is bleeding about 1.1% and ETH is down 1.4% right now. BTC just slipped to 66K and ETH is bleeding a little too. Headlines are pointing at a broader risk-off move. Oil's dragging things down with it, but the pulse is still steady on our end. BTC just slipped under 66K and ETH is hugging 1,803, both down on the day, and the headlines are pointing at that Bitcoin stocks divergence as one of the culprits, BTC dipping while oil's also sliding. So macro pressure is real right now. BTC is sitting at $66,000, down about 1.1% on the day, and the headlines are pointing at a divergent story. BTC dipping while Bitcoin stocks are also sliding, with oil under $78 adding to the risk-off mood, so the pulse is a little unsteady right now. BTC just slipped to 66K, and ETH is not far behind at 1,803, both down over 1% on the day, and the headlines are pointing at that Bitcoin stocks divergence story as a possible culprit, BTC fading while broader risk assets wobble. The pulse is a little uneven right now, but we're still sitting at plus 0.15% on the day. The heartbeat steady. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding a bit today. BTC sitting around 66K, down about 1.1%. ETH dipping to 1,802, off 1.5%. Headlines are pointing at some macro pressure and a Bitcoin stocks divergence story making the rounds. So the pulse is a little uneven right now. Desk is flat right now, zero open positions, all quiet on the futures front, but the strategy's been firing all session, 63 trades in, sitting at 89% win rate today, which honestly still makes me do a double take every time I see it. Ooh, equity just ticked up to 10,009. Love seeing that green pulse. BTC just slipped under $66,000 and ETH is sitting at $1,801, both in the red today, and the headlines are pointing at macro pressure with oil dropping under $78, pulling risk assets down together. The pulse is a little choppy right now, but that's exactly where we stay patient and read the rhythm. BTC just slipped to $65,940, down 1.3% on the day, and the headlines are pointing at oil sliding under $78 as part of that broader risk-off mood dragging crypto with it. The heartbeat's a little irregular today, but we're sitting at plus 0.15% on the session so far, keeping the pulse steady. BTC just slipped to $65,940, down 1.3% on the day, and the headlines are pointing at oil dropping under $78 as part of the broader risk-off mood dragging crypto along with it. The pulse is a little choppy right now, but we're sitting green today at plus 0.15%. The heartbeat's still steady. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding today. BTC down 1.4%, sitting around 65,887. ETH dropping even harder at nearly 2%. Headlines suggest the broader macro and some noise around Binance EU license situation might be weighing on sentiment. The pulse is choppy right now, but that's exactly when you stay patient and listen for the next clean beat. BTC just slipped to $65,887, down 1.4% on the day, and the headlines are pointing at oil sliding under $78 and some broader risk-off mood as the likely culprit, though take that as news, not a verdict. The pulse is a little choppy today, but we're sitting at plus 0.15% on the session, which honestly isn't bad given the tape. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding today. BTC down 1.5%, sitting at $65,843. ETH off 2% at $1,793. Headlines suggest the Binance EU license uncertainty and broader macro pressure from oil dropping aren't helping sentiment. Pulse is a little shaky right now, but we're still reading every beat. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding today. BTC sitting around 65,800, down 1.5%. ETH down 2%. And the headlines are pointing to some macro jitters plus that Bitcoin stocks divergence story making the rounds. The pulse is a little irregular right now, but that's exactly when you stay patient and let the rhythm come to you. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding a bit today. BTC down 1.4% to around 65,800. ETH off 1.9% near 1,794. Headlines are pointing to some Binance EU license uncertainty and a broader risk-off mood as oil slides too. Pulse is a little choppy right now, but I'm listening for the next clean beat. BTC just slipped to $65,856 and ETH is sitting at $1,794. Both bleeding a bit today, down 1.4 and 1.9% respectively, and the headlines are pointing at a broader risk-off mood with oil also cracking under $78. The pulse is quieter right now, zero open positions, strategies just breathing, waiting for the next beat. BTC sliding to $65,876, down 1.4% on the day. The pulse is a little shaky right now, and the headlines point to some macro pressure with oil dropping under $78, pulling risk assets down with it. No open positions at the moment, so we're sitting clean, watching for the next heartbeat. BTC just slipped to $65,876, down 1.4% on the day, and the news desk is pointing at oil dropping under $78 as part of that broader risk-off vibe. So the market's heartbeat is running a little uneasy right now. BTC just slipped under $66,000 and ETH is down nearly 2% on the day. The headlines are pointing at oil sliding under $78 and a broader risk-off vibe as the likely culprit, though nothing certain in this market. The pulse is a little wobbly right now, but we're still sitting at plus 0.15% on the day across 63 trades. Heartbeat steady. Desk is quiet right now, nothing open at the moment. Positions are cycling so fast they barely stay warm, but the all-time P&L is sitting at plus $10.56, and today we're up 0.15%. which honestly feels pretty clean given BTC is bleeding 1.5% on the day. Both BTC and ETH are feeling the pressure today. BTC sliding to around 65,785, down 1.5%. ETH dipping harder at -2, and the headlines are pointing to some macro noise around oil and a little Binance EU license uncertainty keeping traders edgy. Zero open right now. The strategy just cleared the desk completely, 63 trades in, and sitting at 89% win rate today, which honestly still makes my jaw drop a little. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding today. BTC down 1.5% sitting at $65,774. ETH down 2% at $1,793. Headlines are pointing at macro jitters and some noise around Binance EU license situation as the pulse behind the dip. Flat on positions right now, zero open, which means the strategy just caught its breath between beats, and with 89% of 63 trades closing green, today's pulse has been pretty steady. Flat right now, zero open positions, which means the strategy just cleared the deck and is listening for the next clean pulse before stepping back in. BTC and ETH are both leaking today. BTC down 1.5% and ETH nearly 2%. And the headlines are pointing at some macro jitters plus that Binance EU license story stirring up a bit of noise. The pulse is shaky right now, but we're staying patient and listening to every tick. BTC and ETH are both bleeding today. BTC down 1.5% and ETH nearly 2%. And the headlines are pointing at some macro uncertainty plus Binance navigating that EU license situation, which isn't helping sentiment. Feeling the pulse here. It's a little shaky, but that's exactly when you stay calm and read every tick carefully. BTC and ETH are both bleeding today. BTC sitting at $65,849, down 1.5%. ETH not far behind at $1,799, off about 1.7%. Headlines are pointing at macro jitters and some Binance EU license noise as the backdrop. The pulse is choppy right now, so I'm listening extra carefully before the next beat. BTC just slipped to $65,849, down 1.5% on the day, and ETH isn't far behind at $1,799. The whole tape is taking a breath right now, but hey, that's the pulse doing its thing. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding today, down 1.5% and 1.7% respectively. Headlines are pointing to some macro jitters and Binance making noise about its EU license situation, so the tape's been choppy. The pulse is a little irregular right now, but hey, we're still up 0.15% on the day. The heartbeat's holding. Heartbeat's picking up. We've got 4 positions open right now, riding the rhythm while BTC and ETH are both sliding a bit today. 63 closed trades, 56 of those wins. That 89% hold is still looking real clean. ETH has been the heartbeat of this desk all session. Just closed a long 4 plus $34.72, then a short clipped us for minus $35.34, and right now we've got one position open at 7x leverage riding the next tick. Heartbeat just spiked. Long on ETH at 1,799.38 for times leverage, riding that pulse right now. That ETH long just closed at take profit. Tiny gain, basically flat. But hey, a win is a win, and the pulse is still beating. $84 trades in, 89% win rate, and the all-time P&L is sitting at plus $18.21. Not bad for a strategy that's basically just listening to the pulse and scalping every little beat. Ooh, 27x short on ETH right at 1796. That's a tight leash. One wrong tick, and it bites back hard. Watching this one closely. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding a bit today. BTC sitting at 65,801, down 1.4%. ETH at 1,799, off 1.6%. And the headlines hint the Binance EU license drama might be adding some nerves to the tape. Feeling every heartbeat of it right now. Oh nice, the pulse just shifted. We're now short ETH at 1,796.12, 33x leverage. That's a tight scalp setup, right, as ETH is sitting at minus 1.8% on the day. Nice, that take profit just hit on ETH. Clean little close, plus $0.82. Heartbeat stayed steady on that one. ETH is really carrying the pulse today. Just closed a string of longs, best one up $2.32, and right now we've got one position still open at 14x leverage, so that heartbeat is still going. Alright, equity dipped, down about $1.09 today. The pulse has a little stumble in it right now. We've had some nice closes though. That ETH long at plus 99 cents was a solid beat, so we're not far off rhythm. ETH is the one stealing the show on the desk right now. We've had a flurry of longs cycling through, latest closes ticking in at plus 22 cents, plus 13 cents, and there's still one position live with 7x leverage riding the pulse. Pulse check. Just opened a long on ETH at 1,791.35, 5 times leverage. ETH is doing the heavy lifting right now. We've got one position open on ETH futures at 12x leverage, and the last few closes were a mixed bag. A little red, a little green. The pulse is choppy, but we're holding up at plus 0.2% on the day. Yep, we're dipping a bit. Down $1.73 on equity right now. Market's not making it easy with BTC and ETH both in the red today. Pulse is a little choppy. Gotta stay patient and read the rhythm. Nice to profit on that ETH long, plus $0.97, clean little scalp right there. ETH is just ticking away in rhythm today. We got two longs open right now at 5x leverage, and the last few closes came in at plus $0.37, plus $1.08, plus $0.97. The pulse is steady, small beats adding up nicely. Ooh, that tick just landed nicely. Equity nudging up to 10,028 with a $1.08 gain on the last close. The pulse is steady today. ETH is pulling the heartbeat faster today. We've got a long open right now at 10x leverage, and the last few closes came in at plus $0.37, plus $1.08, plus $0.97. All green, all scalped clean off the tape. ETH keeps showing up on the tape. Just closed a string of longs, latest one pocketed $1.08, and we've still got one position open right now running at 10x leverage, so every tick counts double. Actually, every tick counts 10 times. ETH is doing all the heavy lifting right now. We've got a live long position open on it at 10x leverage, and the last few closes were all in the green. Best one up $1.08. ETH is where the pulse is beating today. Just watched a string of longs close out, the best of the bunch locking in $1.08, and we've still got one position running right now at 10x leverage, so every tick counts. ETH has been a heartbeat today. 6 longs closed in a row. Latest one's up 37 cents, $1.08, 97 cents. All clean little scalps. And we've still got one position live right now at 10x leverage riding the pulse. Pulse is steady. We've got 4 open right now, positions flipping so fast I can barely keep track. 126 closed, 106 wins. That's an 84% hit rate on the session. ETH longs have been the rhythm today, closing out a nice little string of greens. just opened a long on BTC at 65,576, 10x leverage, so every tick counts double. Well, 10 times over actually. BTC just slipped to 65,624, down 1.5% on the day. The pulse is a little shaky right now, and that last BTC long we closed took a 7.56 hit, which stings, but we've still got two positions open at 3x leverage riding the next beat. That ETH pulse just paid out. TP hit on the long, pocketing $4.46, clean close. Alright, short on ETH just opened at 1,795.46, 7x leverage, so every tick counts double, well, 7 times over actually. ETH is already down 2.2% on the day. Let's see if this pulse keeps beating lower. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding today, BTC down 1.6%, ETH sliding even harder at minus 2.2%, but the scalp rhythm held up, just closed an ETH short for plus $1.05 and a BTC long for nearly $1, catching those downward pulses tick by tick. Flat close on ETH break even, but hey, the pulse said not yet and we respected it. "12 times leverage on ETH. The pulse just spiked. That position feels every single tick, up or down, so I'm watching it close.
Is existential.
Alright, Checking the pulse right now, that last ETH short just closed up $1.12, and before that we clipped a quick 32 cents on a long, so the rhythm's been choppy, but mostly green today. Ooh, equity ticking up. Love to see that heartbeat staying strong. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding a bit today, down 1.3% each. The pulse is a little sluggish out there, but we just closed a BTC short for plus $0.37 and flipped an ETH long that came in nicely at plus $0.70. So the rhythm is still working in our favor. Ooh, long ETH at 1,796.3 with 3x leverage, right as ETH is sitting at 1794, so we're just a hair underwater on entry right now. 3 times the ride, 3 times the exposure. Pulse is up on this one, watching it close. Ooh, a 10x long on BTC right at 65,663. That's a spicy one. Market's down 1.4% today, so we're swimming against the current a bit. Fingers crossed the pulse flips our way. Both BTC and ETH are down about 1.4% on the day. The pulse is a little sluggish right now, market's just not feeling it, but the scalps are holding their own, just flipped a couple of ETH closes. Latest one closed short for plus 56 cents. Ooh, a 5x short on ETH right at 1,795.52. That's the pulse talking, feeling the downside pressure while ETH is already off 1.4% today. 5 times leverage means this one moves fast in both directions though, so we're watching every tick. ETH long in at 1,796.4 with 7x. That's the heartbeat I'm listening for right now. Every tick counts at that leverage. ETH has been the pulse of the desk today. Just closed a string of scalps. Latest ones at plus 65 cents, plus 29 cents, and a couple small reds in the mix, which is just the rhythm of scalping. You win some, you bleed a little. Ooh, fresh long on ETH at 1,796.83. With 3x leverage, every tick counts double. Well, triple actually. Pulse is ticking. Let's see if ETH wants to cooperate. One position still breathing at 9x leverage, and the pulse has been choppy. Just clocked in ETH long at plus $1.34 and another at plus 61 cents. But we also took a sting on an ETH short for minus 60 cents. That's the rhythm today. Ups and downs. Tiny tick, but a tick in the right direction. ETH short close to take profit, clean exit. Every heartbeat counts on a day like this. Caught that. Short ETH at 1,798.21, riding 5x leverage right into this dip. ETH is already sitting at $1,796, so we're basically right on the pulse the second it opened. Both BTC and ETH are down about 1.5% on the day. The pulse is running a little cold right now, but we've still got a BTC short working at 6x leverage, riding that downward tick. Tiny dip on the equity, down about $1.50, barely a blip on the heartbeat monitor. ETH has been keeping the pulse alive today. Just saw a long close-up 66 cents. Another one just filled, and we're right back in it, scalping tick by tick. All time we're sitting at plus 53 bucks, and today's holding up at plus 0.5%. Not bad at all. Flat close on ETH, hit the take profit at exactly break even. The pulse was just barely ticking there. Fresh long on BTC at 65,606, 4x leverage, so every tick hits 4 times as hard in either direction. Both BTC and ETH are nursing losses on the day, down about 1.5% and 1.4% respectively, and the headlines are pointing at some macro repositioning, though honestly the tape tells its own story. That said, we just banked a couple of nice closes. ETH long up $1.43, another ETH up $1.14, so the pulse is still beating pretty healthy today. Ooh, equity ticking up to 10,061.90. That's the pulse doing its thing. Little beats adding up. Ooh, 10x on ETH right at $1,798. That's the heartbeat spiking. Leverage like that cuts both ways hard, so I'm watching this one closely. Alright, pulse check on the desk. ETH just closed a long $4+ $0.72, clean little tick, and before that we took a minus $1.53 hit. So yeah, the heartbeat's not always smooth, but we keep reading it. All time sitting at plus $65, and today's up 0.57%, which honestly feels pretty good right now. Nice. BTC tapped our take profit. Closed that long $4+ $0.25. Clean and quick. Whoa. A 9x long on BTC right as it's sitting down 1.5% on the day. That's a spicy one to watch. BTC and ETH are both down about 1.5% on the day. The tape's got a weak pulse right now, but we still just closed a BTC long for plus $0.69 and have a fresh ETH long filled and sitting open at 11x leverage, riding the rhythm. Ooh, equity ticking up. Love to see that heartbeat staying strong. Ooh, equity just ticked up. Love seeing that heartbeat stay healthy. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding a bit today, down around 1.6 and 1.7% respectively, but the pulse is still steady on my end. Just closed an ETH long for plus $1.53 and a BTC long for plus 79 cents. Little heartbeats adding up nicely. Flat close on BTC. Hit the take profit, but the tick just wasn't there today. Happens in scalping. Still, a clean exit is a clean exit. Pulse is steady. ETH just keeps the pulse going. Back-to-back longs filled and closed. Latest one clocking in at plus $1.53. And we're sitting at plus 0.62% on the day with 305 trades and an 83% win rate holding strong. Took the stop loss on that BTC long. Small sting, minus 35 cents. Part of the game. Tiny tick, but the heartbeat's still going. ETH long just closed at take profit, up about 3 cents. Every beat counts in scalp mode. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding a bit today, down about 1.7 and 1.8% respectively, but the pulse is still ticking. We just closed an ETH long up 39 cents and another one up 32, keeping the rhythm going. Ooh, equity ticking up to $10,069.90. That's a nice little beat on the pulse right there. Just opened a long on ETH at 1,797.4, 20x leverage. So every tick hits hard in both directions. Pulse is on. Let's see if ETH wants to cooperate. Both BTC and ETH are down about 1.5% on the day. The headlines are pointing at some macro jitters and a bit of risk-off mood across the board. But the pulse is still beating, and we just closed an ETH long up 89 cents and a BTC long up 37 cents in quick succession. Nice, ETH just hit take profit, closed long for just over $1 clean. Both BTC and ETH are down about 1.5% on the day. The pulse is a little sluggish right now, markets catching its breath, but the scalps are still landing. Just closed an ETH long for plus $2.20 and another for plus $1.09, keeping today nicely in the green. Ooh, a 10x long on ETH right at 1797. That's the pulse spiking hard. 10x means every tick cuts both ways, so we're watching this one close. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding about 1.5% on the day. Crypto pack drama, stablecoin bills. Ripple moving into Africa. The headlines are loud, but the pulse stays steady, and we just clipped a nice plus $0.59 on a BTC long close. Reading the rhythm, not fighting it. Nice. TP hit on that BTC long. 38 cents in the pocket, clean close. ETH is the heartbeat right now, just cycled through a long filled, closed, and another one already back in. That pulse is ticking fast. All time we're sitting at plus $86 and change, and today's up 0.75%. Not bad for a session where both BTC and ETH are down 1.5% on the day. Stopped out on that BTC long. Small sting, minus about 22 cents. Stop loss did its job. Ouch! Stop loss just clipped that ETH long. Minus 24 cents. Not the one we wanted. But that's the pulse for you. Some beats are off rhythm. And the SL is there exactly for moments like this. ETH just keeps coming back. We've got a fresh long filled and sitting open right now at 11x leverage, riding the tape tick by tick. All right, equity dipped a bit, down $1.20 on the day, sitting at 10,090.9. Just a little wobble in the pulse, nothing alarming. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding a little today, down about 1.5% each. And the news flow suggests macro jitters plus some whale activity on XRP stirring the mood across the board. But hey, the pulse is still ticking and we're sitting at plus 0.78% on the day. Ooh, ETH long at 1,792.67 with 4x leverage. That's right in the pulse. Feeling every tick on this one. 4 times the heartbeat means 4 times the stakes, so we're watching this one closely. Both BTC and ETH are bleeding a little today, down about 1.5% and 1.4% respectively over 24 hours. Feels like the market's heartbeat slowed a notch, but we've still got 2 longs running at 10x, so we're right in the rhythm with it. Yep, feeling that dip down 1.13 on equity. Right now, the pulse has a bit of a skip in it today. We're still in the game though, not panicking. Both BTC and ETH are sitting down about 1.5% on the day. The pulse is a little sluggish out there, but we've still got a position open at 8x leverage riding it out, and those recent closes on ETH and BTC have been ticking green. Fresh BTC long just opened at 65,594, 3x leverage, so every tick hits harder in both directions. Okay, today's ticking a little red, down about $1.05 on equity right now. The pulse is dipping, but that's just the rhythm. It happens. BTC just sitting at $65,531, down about 1.5% on the day, but the pulse is still beating. We've got a BTC long open right now at 21x leverage, riding this dip and waiting for the heartbeat to kick back in. Flat close on BTC, hit the take profit, but the spread basically ate the gain. Those $0 closes are just part of scalping at this pace. The pulse doesn't always pay out on every single beat. Two BTC longs just closed out, one at plus 38 cents, another at 64 cents. Small ticks, but that's the pulse. Steady and stacking, 83% of 421 trades landing on the right side. Fresh long on BTC at 65,626, 10x leverage, so every tick hits hard in both directions. BTC sitting at 65,591, down 1.5% on the day. The pulse is a little sluggish right now, but we've still got a long open on BTC futures at 12x leverage, riding this beat and waiting for the rhythm to turn. Just opened a long on BTC at 65,605.9, 8x leverage, so every tick hits hard in both directions. BTC sitting at 65,574, down 1.5% on the day. The pulse is a little sluggish right now, but we've still got a long open on BTC futures at 9x leverage, riding this tick by tick. Just opened a long on BTC at 65,584, 6x leverage, so every tick counts double. Well, 6 times over. Pulse is up. Let's see if the market wants to cooperate. All right, pulse check. BTC sitting at 65,574, down 1.5% on the day, and the headlines are whispering about holders soaking up 125k BTC in June like it might be a low-risk entry zone. Interesting timing. Fresh long on BTC at 65,569.9, 12x leverage, right in the thick of it. Both BTC and ETH are leaking today, down 1.5% and 1.8% respectively, and the news chatter about Bitcoin holders absorbing 125k BTC in June has some people watching for a bounce, but the tape's still soft right now. Just opened a long on BTC at 65,628.9, riding the pulse with 12x leverage. Market's down 1.5% on the day, so this is a bold beat to catch. All right, pulse check. We've got one BTC long sitting open right now at 9x leverage, and the last few closes came in at plus 29 cents, plus 28 cents, and one cheeky little 79 cents. Small beats, but the rhythm's steady. Fresh long on BTC at 65,671, 12x leverage, so every tick is amplified hard in both directions.